Aaron Marchant with an American Nomad News segment on pedestrian access. Now, up ahead is a set of overpasses that, if I got my navigation right from Google Earth, goes over a really low swampy spot, and they're pretty high, and they look like they're only designed for automotive transport, and it looks like there's no footpath whatsoever that goes across the swampy part. There's a river down in the middle, and I do not see any kind of bridge. Now along here, you can see in both directions a pretty good set of sidewalks. Sorry if that spinning around was a little fast. Here's a quick look at a pretty flower. Those who like pretty flowers, we like pretty flowers. Okay, oh, look at that. Look at that, all velvety and nice. Yes, we like those. Okay, so always stop and smell the flowers. Okay, except the ones that are famous for smelling really bad. You can probably skip those. Now, I do not recommend that you try this at home. This is one of those warnings on the videos where I'm the guy that's crazy enough and skilled enough and experienced enough to get away with doing this. This does not mean that other people will. If you try this kind of thing that I'm contemplating I'm probably going to be in the middle of, and you get hurt, it's your own dumb fault. Just like if I get hurt doing this, it's my own dumb fault. Nobody told me I should or could or was allowed to do what I'm about to do, crossing these bridges with this heavy traffic and very little footpath. Now, I could be wrong. I have not been to these. I have not experienced these. I've not seen these before. So, I honestly don't know if there isn't a little tiny bridge below, a footbridge, as part of the park area or anything. I don't know if there's a sidewalk on one of these overpasses, but it sure doesn't look like it from Google Satellite. One of the problems with Google Satellite is they don't show you the raw image, making it possible to see whether there's actually a sidewalk on a traffic bridge or not. What they show you is cartoon lines that, depending on elevation, can even change and be deceptive based on what they're assuming you're looking at Google Maps for. Because Google Maps is highly biased based on things like car sales, things like that, metrics that are large amounts of dollar bills are attached to, and they really can't figure out things like how the things that they do suppress the spending ability and earning ability of people they don't serve very well. And thus there is a lot of passive obstruction possible in these interactions. Let's take a look at how many minutes I got. Okay, 350. Now, I don't have to worry about the time length as much anymore, but I found that I really like about 15 or 20 minute videos max. I think that's great. Shorter videos can be kind of fun to do, but I would rather be able to take lots of short clips on a subject and then use software, which is, I don't have the hardware and the software available to me to do this, but edit them together in a narrative that gives you a flow, a purpose, narration, these kinds of things. Setting elements in an order which tells a story, tells an experience, shows evidence of a thing or a concept or an idea, what's going on with what we're doing. And that is not available to me. I have to set this with unedited, raw, moderate footage. Well, not really footage, it's recording time, because it's digital. And I really only have one good camera to use, as I really don't like using the selfie camera. I don't like the aspect ratio. I do like the flatness, which I don't get with this camera. I'd like to be able to have a lens that I had attached to this, take this lens off, put a different lens on, and it flattens out the image. But that's just not an option. Now I can flatten out the image digitally with a desktop or laptop computer with significant capability and make something happen with it, but I'm obstructed by all sorts of contextual problems that prevent me from being able to contribute these things. Similarly, since I don't have a car or a driver's license, and I lost my driver's license because of political reasons. They're quite literally political. And that it goes all the way to antinatalism and the obstruction of having children, which I'm telling you is a pretty personal issue. Okay, so we got a bunch of houses, and off in the distance I can see that the land drops off and becomes really vegetative, really heavy with vegetation. And from Google Satellite, it looks like there's almost no land development in there. They've left it pretty raw. It's a natural kind of thing. Now I'm looking and I'm seeing a lot of roads underneath. You can see these homes are very, very new. You're still breaking ground on some of them. And some of them they look like they're pretty solid brick homes. There's even one that looks like a castle. They're all, in fact, there's a couple. Yeah. They're basically McMansions. Want to guess where they work? I would not have any of these homes. Sorry. It's not how. Oh, hey, look at that. Isn't that interesting? Okay. No. I'm thinking I want something different in my life. Nouveau riche? No, thank you. Okay, sun's going down, so I'm really hoping that I can... Now, see, I have a decision to make here. Okay, there's a road that goes down below, and it may very well make it all the way across that low spot, or it may turn left and right and leave me with uncrossable land and a river. So I'm going to cross this and try and get a good look. I can see you. And I don't care. Listen, people in cars, man, I tell you, they've got some crazy way of looking at the world. And it's framed around their context. It's not that they're bad people, or they're, all of that. It's just that there's... the way that you live your life frames your mind, teaches your mind to think in certain ways. And if you think that you cannot move without a car, then all of your decisions are framed around the car, including the infrastructural. It's part of the series I'm trying to work on, which I'm terrible at, and I can't edit anything, so practice on organizing that is just not there. I really can't tell whether I can get across there. And this big sweeping overpass is really dangerous looking. I can do it. I don't like it. Really do not like it. So, okay, we're gonna come over here. Take a look at my minutes. Got 10 minutes, that's cool. Okay. I'm gonna set the camera down for a second and pull out the cell phone, which does not have a very full charge because I've been watching some YouTube videos. I'll set that right there. So watch that area for a minute. See if I can get cell phone pocket. Okay. Now, I don't know if you can see that or not. That's my cell phone and it shows where I am. And in fact, it does look like I can get across that bottom part. So let's see what it shows me. Glasses up there, because walking with my glasses on gives me an instant eyeball headache. It's just brutal. Yeah, they're real blocked off in there. They got a little playground with the kids. And they got some kind of prayer hall in the back. Not sure whether it's Sikh or Islam. But I'm guessing it's Islam because I don't see anybody with the Sikh turbans. A lot of Muslims, they don't worry about hairdos and stuff. They cut their hair pretty Western style and so forth. And there's a blue dome, a big building back there. I may want to go and take a visit sometime, but I'm on a mission to get my access to Google back online with my passwords. Because I've got work I'm trying to do, and they've given me an impasse. They've given me something that I can't control. They locked me out. Okay. Well, they've dominated the market, and that means that they control it all. And I don't have access to the ability to do better, to contribute to society, is all up for me. So the more that they do these kinds of things, they cut off my accounts with no accountability, no chance for retrieval, no chance to turn things back on or establish my identity, any of these things, the less I trust them. I can't trust the cloud. They just pick and choose who they want to cut off. They define a reason why they want to cut them off, and then they fucking cut them off. Excuse my language. Stuck to them. Got a flock of birds flying overhead. I don't know if you can see it. With this camera, it's hard to see certain things, especially distant stuff. Boy, Texas, I have never seen any place with more of these overpasses and stuff than Texas. I haven't been to New York. Detroit doesn't have anything this extensive. I kind of wonder sometimes exactly what's the overview of justification of these, incredible amounts of money, effort, and resources that goes into these. How much more efficient is the traffic? Or do they just like it? And look at this. Cross traffic with no lights. Heavy. There is no stoplights on this. This is just intense. It's just catch can. Check out this crazy traffic. There's a whole bunch of do not enter wrong way signs, and they're just cutting across. We got a wolf pack coming up. This is a spot where you just better pay attention. That's the way, they like it, It looks like that river goes under a little bridge under here. It does, and that's super handy for me, because that means I don't have to walk on them things. And them things are scary, dude. There was a video I tried to publish earlier, and I'm really not sure whether it made it online, because it's super hard to publish from the libraries, and I don't even want to try it on this phone because I don't trust the phone. Let's take a look at my minutes, see where I'm at for this segment. I'm at 17:30, so I'm going to pause it and start over.